Hello and welcome to the Leverage Podcast. I'm Paul Richard, and I have Tim Whitman with me today. Tim, welcome to the podcast. Good to have you.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing good. And we are both in a network group called Network Navy, and it's great to have the businesses on that are in the Network Navy to give them a chance to talk about who they are, build trust, build knowledge, build awareness of what you do in the world. And so, why don't you start out? Just give us a little bit of background about you personally. Tell us about who you are, where you are today, and how you got there.
Sure, yeah. Well, my name is Tim Whitman. I'm with Whitman Detailing. I own and operate that detailing business, now based out of Springfield, Missouri. Um, so we started in Phoenix. That's where we were at the time, and the whole reason my business even started was COVID. Right. So they're making you mask up, everything, the whole nine yards, and uh, they were talking to my wife, whoever she was working for at the time, trying to make her take the jab and all this. And I was like, screw that. Let's start this business. We don't even need you to work, right? And so I haven't hit that point yet, but yeah, it's been taking off. I mean, I treat everybody the same, whether you're getting a quick wash or the full luxury lineup of vehicle protection and everything. And, people like being respected. People like having that guy, that they know. Like I build relationships. I don't just take your money and half-ass your car, So that's it's pretty nice running into those people in the world. So that's what I try to be, you know.
All right. Well, you
So
started in Phoenix, and how long you been here in the Springfield area?
we've been here about a year. So we
Okay.
started about November, December of last year. Um, or no, shoot, it's been longer, dude. We're going on year two. So we
Okay.
moved here in April of 2024. Um, I had uh, I had things rolling in Phoenix. I had a couple teams working for me and things, but didn't work out. So we had to shut down out there, and we moved up here to Springfield. Or we live in Wheatland, but I opened up in Springfield. It's the largest town near me. So had to, unfortunately, we couldn't make it work out here in Wheatland. It's just easier where there's more population. So we, I ended up meeting Carmel, and dude, we just clicked, man, and we've been working together ever since. I detail, he does car audio, and we're both take care of people the way that they should be taken care of. So it's a beautiful, beautiful situation. Very blessed.
Who does the car audio?
Carmel. So
Oh,
he
Carmel. Okay. He
yep.
was
So
on
I
my
rent.
podcast this
Yeah,
week. Yeah.
and he's on the networking Navy as well. So we're on the same charter, the SS Top Guns or whatnot. And so we go to that Thursday meeting every week, and I've missed a couple as of late, just being so busy. But was back there last week. It was great, and you know, starting to get comfortable with everybody there, and a bunch of good people there. So
Nice. All right. Well, that's cool. Yeah. In fact, I'm sending some information on one of my family's vehicles that needs a new head unit and Bluetooth connection for
nice. Yeah.
the phone. Yeah. Yeah. So that's cool.
He's definitely the best place in town to go to, man. The guy runs it. You'd never even tell he opened up your center console half the time, it's
No
nuts.
kidding. That's
Yeah,
good. I like
his
that.
their wire management skill is I've haven't seen anything better. So I actually had a custom box done through them. They've done my whole audio setup in the Hummer, so they're the only people I trust to work on my vehicles. So
Fantastic. Well, that's a good recommendation. I appreciate that. And yeah, in fact, I owe him a text today. That's a good reminder of that. Well, fantastic. So you're Wheatland. How far is Wheatland? I'm not sure from
it's
where
about
you are in Springfield.
an hour and a half north, basically. If you're
Is it really?
doing the speed limit, I can make it in
Okay.
about an hour. No, but yeah, it's just far enough to be God's paradise out here. It's peace and quiet. Sleep like a baby. It's beautiful. So,
Yeah, that's
and
nice. That's
we're like
nice.
5 miles from Lucas Speedway too. So that's pretty cool.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. So you said you mentioned your wife, and before we got on, I saw your brother walk by. So, how
Yep.
much family do you have here?
So uh, for me, it's just my brother now. So we actually just moved him out here from California, and he's living in the other house on my property. Put a little money into fixing it up. When I first moved here, that one was supposed to go. The guy never picked it up. We just gave it to me. I was like, all right, cool. I know somebody who will fix it up and live in it. Bam, there we go. My brother moved out here,
Nice.
so now I got some help in the detailing business, and I can rely on it because he's right there.
That's you got leverage. You got Are you the older?
Yeah,
Yeah, are
yeah,
you
I'm the
the
older
older
brother.
brother or the
Yeah,
younger brother? You're the older brother.
yeah,
Okay,
I'm the
okay.
older
So,
brother.
good deal, good
He's
deal.
like, "Come on,
Well,
Pop, we gotta go
awesome.
to work."
Yeah, yeah. Come on, bud.
So,
Well, cool. So why here? What brought you here?
honestly, I wanted to build a better relationship with, my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. So, in the city, not everybody, you know, you looked at as kind of the weirdo sometimes, unfortunately, and it just is what it is, So I just got tired of being a chameleon. I'm not a fake person, and sometimes to bond with certain people, like you got to just keep in mind money's green, and you need it to survive. But I could only stick around out there for so long,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
the agendas and things, it just clashes with my core values. And I ran to the Bible Belt apparently, and I didn't even know that was a thing, but I just discovered that. But you go to church and hey, welcome, thanks, come in. That's um, it's much nicer. Less hypocrisies. I mean, they still exist, and there's still strange people. But it is what it is. Out here is much more comfortable. It's where I'm meant to be. So,
That's cool. And I'm also a licensed realtor here in Branson and stuff. And
oh,
so
nice. Okay.
sometimes, yeah, so sometimes I don't promote that in the Navy. Yet at the same time, it affects my life. I've been doing that for 20 years, and I have a lot of people come here that want to buy houses. Go, God told me to come here, and
Yeah.
I knew I was living in Nebraska, and I knew as soon as the job offer came in from Keller Williams at the time to move here that was the thing God had me doing. So I
Yeah.
took off and I loaded up the truck and away I go. So and
Yeah, I was,
you
I
probably
was literally riding his coattails the whole way here. Uh, if it wasn't ordained for me to be out here, I wouldn't be here. The
yeah.
things he had to do in my life to make it possible. To this day, I don't understand how it happened. I just said, yes, Lord, and here I went.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and now here we are. So,
Isn't it a cool adventure to trust him and
oh
do it,
man, I like to
just
compare it to riding a roller coaster, like the craziest roller coaster you ever been on, right? And all you have is that little lap bar, right? And at first you're just like, and you learn that you just need to just go
yeah.
with it, you just got to put that faith out there.
That's awesome. I love that.
So, yeah,
There's a meme about that where the Holy Spirit is in the roller coaster. You've probably seen it, and Holy Spirit's like, "Yeah, here we go," and you're like, you
yeah,
know,
that's too
because we
true.
can't see the future. It's funny. It's
Yeah.
funny. That's wonderful. Well, we share that as brothers, and so in the detailing world, okay, in 2 years. Run me through some of the accomplishments, some of the things that you've done in 2 years in that realm. What's been going on? How have you
Well,
grown?
I was able to bring my reputation I was developing in Arizona out here. So,
Okay.
one, I'm one of the select few detailers out here that maintains a 5-star rating. Okay,
Hmm.
it isn't easy. You get difficult customers, but just as the Lord does, you show compassion and education, and you get things done properly, right? Um,
Right.
and there's a difference between cleaning a car and resurrecting the new car feeling, and that's my specialty. right? I don't care if your car's 20 years old. I don't care if it's 6 months old. You're going to feel like you're driving off the dealership the second you leave my place. And if not, I failed. And if you spot something wrong, I either fix it or we make some kind of something work, right? Like there's no,
Yep.
oh, well, deal with it. No, my name stands for quality and compassion. And like I said, it's a big family here. When you're my customer, you can come back whenever you feel like it. Say hey, say what. Like I'm building relationships with people, not just taking their money.
Very good. Very
So,
good. So when you first arrived, what was the first marketing connection thing you did? How did you get started
dude,
in the new
honestly, my
market?
first year here, I kind of just coasted off my reputation and what I could do online. I've spent the last 14, 15 years doing SEO marketing with a good company that's taken really good care of me. This year I no longer work with them. Just didn't it wasn't in the stars, you know what I mean? And so now it's time to jump in, full fledged into detailing, right? And so now that I'm doing that, now I'm starting to explore the networking side of things, like i.e. the networking Navy, right? I'm starting to do some advertising on social media and stuff. Social media seems to be more of a thing out here versus like people don't not very often are people just sitting and chilling on their computer, whereas in the city almost everybody has got a laptop at the very least, right? um,
Right.
so I'm still trying to figure out the market and how to make my presence more known, but at the same time the aura that I have when I'm dealing with people spreads like wildfire, and this is a word of mouth town. And man, word of mouth did not travel like it does here where I'm from. So
Really?
that's how that's going. So
Hmm.
um, the word of mouth carries a lot more power out here, But then again, at the end of the day, you mess up once, spreads like wildfire. You do a great job for 100 times, and you get one of these. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm still figuring it out, but we're getting there. We're getting there. I
Well, that's
I'm
interesting.
I'm bringing a whole nother level of vehicle protection out here. So like I have some newer technologies, liquid PPF. This is everybody knows paint protection film is like stretching these giant stickers onto the front of your car to prevent rock chips and things. Now they have it in liquid form, and we can just
Hmm.
layer it one, two, four layers. Comes with warranties, no edges, doesn't ever yellow, hardens your paint harder than ceramic ever could, and thicker than a ceramic by itself could ever be. So technology is come a long way in our business. So
Very good. Very good. So those things, what I noticed in the real estate business was I know several major players in Scottsdale, Gilbert, different areas of Phoenix, as you know, some major players down there. And I've gone down there for training and we do masterminds and meetings. And it is a different market. It is very different than what we experience here. It definitely a lot of retirees down there, a lot of people, of course, but just there's some people that you can't meet everybody that's even coming into town down there. It's
oh yeah,
growing so fast, right? And
yep,
they go out in the middle of the desert and build a whole new city out there, right? So it's just crazy.
pretty crazy. Yeah.
That doesn't happen around here. Okay.
Yeah.
It's slow grow, but that has its advantages as well. So,
Yeah.
well, cool. So as far as you mentioned what'd you say, PPF?
Oh yeah, liquid paint protection film is what it's called. So
Liquid paint protection film. That's a
yep,
mouthwater. Okay.
yeah, it's a
Now,
mouthful.
yeah.
It is.
So, well, that's interesting because I like my car is 13 years old. It has some of that film on it. It's a Toyota, and it is starting to yellow, and you can see the edges and all that good stuff. So that's cool. Yeah, that's really cool. Now,
Thanks.
is there like I imagine there's like national trade shows you can go to for detailing and that kind of thing. Do you attend those things and kind of find out what's the
Well,
latest and greatest?
I plan to this year. So this year, being with Carmel and Carmel Car Audio, he works on a lot of classics, a grand range of vehicles. So he has a couple car clubs and things like that that he sponsors or that works for. I'm not 100% sure of their relationship, but I just met a nice group over here, the Blue Brothers, the biker group, and
Hmm.
the president there had his wife's vehicle done with me, and she was very pleased, and they invited me to their group and to join and tell people what I do there. So yeah, I mean, I do plan on exploring those options, because like I said, I love being that guy that when people have an issue they can just call, right? I get along with anybody. Rarely do I ever find anybody that even talks sideways to me. Like I'm a reasonable person. I get along with everybody, and the Lord's there with me, and you know what I mean. So it all
Yep.
works out, and
Yeah.
being able to help people in their time of need. Like I don't know. I was driving home with these waters I just filled up. They all spilled in the back. Can you help me out? Yep, cool. Stop by. Let me suck it on out. I can pause this job, put somebody else. It, I take pleasure in being able to be there when people need me. And then let's face it, vehicles nowadays, it don't take much to get to 100 grand on a vehicle, right? A brand
Right.
new 2500 truck, with any kind of decent trim package, you're 75,000 easy, right? And
Yep.
when
Yep.
you're spending that much money, like that's half a house, depending. That's a whole house, depending where you get it, right? Like,
Yes.
um,
Yes.
and so being able to give people real trustworthy protection on that is what I like to do too. My name stands for that. Like if I can't put my name on it, I don't sell it, right? So it's pretty nice. I've built a lot of relationships just on that, how do you call it? Transparency and trust, So,
Sure. Okay. So as far as your services, let's go through the laundry list. Let's
yep.
start with what's the most common detailing package that you see coming in for day to day.
So I have tokenized the phrase of interior resurrection, right? I thought of something called that would make people just be wowed, right? Because that's how my work will be. If you're not wowed by my work, and me being a Christian man, our whole foundation is that resurrection, right? That's what we believe in,
Right.
right? And to
Right.
be able to take garbage and turn it back into something somebody's proud of, this is what I do. There's no in between, especially out here. I get a lot more really rough vehicles that need a total resurrection, right? And so that
Hmm.
is my most common service. So the deep clean interior with steam, extraction, the whole 9 yards. That's what I specialize in. That's always going to be the bread and butter. That's why it's in the name, and that's the most popular service. However, we also do protection and, vehicle coatings to help, more OCD people maintain their stuff easier, right? So there's a whole list of those items that are coming about late as of late, but that interior resurrection is probably the most popular um, service that I offer, and that deep interior detail. So, um,
Okay. Let's talk about that. So deep interior uh, detail. Let's say, for example, on my car, I've noticed. This is one question personally I was thinking about. I've noticed that my black carpeting is beginning to have some fading and that kind of thing. Is there anything that can be done to restore that blackness of the carpet?
Um, a lot of times you'd be amazed what a really good detailed vacuum can do. Okay.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
there's a lot of times where a vacuum can make that whole difference, right? It could just be dirt that's settled in there, right?
Hmm.
A lot of people don't realize that sometimes they just need their carpets extracted. I had another gentleman, he lived in a dirt field, right? Like his house was built, but he had nothing but dirt around his house. And after we literally just did it was a 2 hour vacuum. Like we were using little massagers to beat up the dirt and everything,
Yep.
and just suck out all the dirt. And he's like, "Dang, what'd you do? You use a carpet cleaner? You replaced my carpet? What'd you do?" Hey, man, it was just 2 hours. Man, it sucked. It sucked.
Yeah.
So what you think was clean is and fading was
Ah,
really missing. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
sometimes it just takes a little bit of shampoo too, you know? You don't necessarily have to extract a lot of the time, to be honest, you know? A little shampoo just cleans the tips of the fibers and you're good to go, you know? But that's my experience. Everybody's gonna have their own opinion on everything, you know, but this sometimes it really isn't much to get that coloring back. Other times it's worn, the color fibers are damaged from something you spilled in it, and there's no getting it back unless you do some fabric dye or something like that. But I specialize in cleaning it, and usually that does the job. So,
Very good. What about the like? I'm just going to use my car example. It's got black trim, right, and it's got
mhm.
let's say in the back it's SUV, so in the back, furniture's going in and out for years. It's got scratches and stuff like that. How does a detailer renew that plastic?
So for scratches and things like that, that's not really something we can usually help with.
Okay,
There is such a thing as like permanent damage and wear, with plastic and sliding things down. Hey, sometimes it's as simple as a $60 piece you can buy from the dealer or on eBay and pops in, pops out, you know? So, um, sometimes that stuff can be handled too. But as far as like sunwear, where it just kind of dinges out and gets, there's trim coatings, there's we can heat gun it and then condition it. There's many a different ways to approach it. Sometimes they're just too far gone too.
sure,
So
sure.
it is what it is. But yeah.
What about in the world of leather? Is there anything innovative going on in like if you got leather
Um,
interiors?
so I've seen a lot of protective coatings for leather and things like that. I've tested a few. There's one that is decent out there you can get off Amazon. My dad used it on his Tesla. It seems pretty all right. I've got another one with this new company I just connected with, OptiCoat, so um, it's a very select client that wants that, and usually that's the only guy that'll pay for it, right? And the time it takes, the care you have to put into it, oftentimes isn't worth the hassle to me or the client, right? And so, um, what I will do is I'll just give some options, and how much it would cost for the labor to apply it. We go from there, right? But again, there's maybe three coatings tops out there that I would even trust to last a couple of years, and it's not whether, storage maintenance, taking care of it, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, we've recently just been getting into exterior protection. So like for your paint and stuff like that. Like I mentioned, liquid yeah. This, on the other hand, is a whole other value that people, right now the average vehicle, if you were going to paint protect the entire paint job of your car, would cost anywhere from 5,000 for a very small vehicle and take 2 weeks, all the way to like it's a huge cost, right, to go through protecting the exterior like that. Well, this new company that's found, this OptiCoat, they created a liquid paint protection. It's a fraction of the price. So it could be anywhere from 2 to 4K to do your whole car. Literally, and we're
Hmm.
talking half the price. So, and it does about 80% of the same job. And, even with the film, you get hit by something big enough, and the film ain't gonna stop it. At least with this new stuff, it'll dent and chip in most cases, right? So then you just gotta go find yourself a paintless dent repair guy instead of, oh man, I gotta spend $1,000 repainting my hood. It's crazy. So
And
technology is
yeah,
getting.
I just interviewed, podcasted a paintless dent yesterday. So I
Oh,
got, yeah, absolutely. Yep.
give me his info.
I will. Absolutely. I'm going to, yeah, fantastic,
I haven't,
operation that they have.
I haven't been able to connect with one I could trust yet. He's
Okay.
been
And they're
here.
right up in your area, actually, too. Not too far.
Good.
Awesome. Well, I love that. I love the technology stuff. So, thanks for humoring me on that. The other thing I was wondering about, so pricing, how do you do a flat price based on tiered size of the vehicle or whatever, or do you have to look at it to give them a free estimate, or how does that part work?
So that protective coating, it's with the new product down, I can keep it as right, just depending on the different categories, right? So like on a small car, on the Civic, and then you've got things like a minivan. They usually have really tiny hoods, right? Or you can go to the next step, like full size car, full size truck, full size SUV. Those would fall in a similar category. And you would get to like the big boys like the Yukon XL or the Tahoe, the Suburbans, or the big diesel 3500s. And there's that next category, right? And the thing with liquid BPF, protecting those things could be as simple as, are you doing the front end? How many layers do they give you a couple options, one, two, or four layers. You know, one single layer will look good for most people. If you're just driving around town and you want to protect against those little rock chips from like maybe the dumpster truck in front of you, while you are trying to get right down the street, that look, but some people that live maybe out on a dirt road and driving behind people on dirt roads, and maybe are in the construction field, maybe they need to go the full four layers. They have a certain resistancy and thickness to each layer. And so 2 layers is a 5-year warranty, 4 layers is a 10-year warranty, and a single layer doesn't get a warranty. You just, oh, I guess. I don't know
Yeah.
what. In most cases, that single layer is usually combined with ceramic, and so you get not quite what you get with the 2 year layer, but enough to where you're not worrying about the little thing. You know what I mean? Let's just face it, driving on roads out here, you're a handful of cars, maybe 2 dozen cars at any given time. I'm from man, and you be stuck in traffic for 30 minutes just trying to go down this store, depending on what time you go. So it definitely has its place.
What in the exterior part of that you're talking about? Can you deal with some oxidated, clear coat issues and that type of thing? Tell me a little bit about that.
So once, so think of oxidation as like cancer for your car. Okay,
Hmm.
even rust, you can cut it out, repatch, boom, boom, and you can repair it, right? Oxidation is an issue in your paint. Once you get it's going to keep coming back. It's only a matter of time, right? So, for example, when I was first in the business, right, learning about ceramic coatings and stuff like this, my friend had a 2007 Impala or something that we polished, right? And I wanted to test it. I was like, dude, you got oxidation? Let me see if I can get it off and how well. Well, it came out great. Well, no, it's not right? The whole point of ceramic is to be able to correct your exterior of the car, or if you buy it new, to prevent it from ever getting super bad, right? Kind of like if you think back to the days when you were hand waxing stuff, right? This is a good way to help with oxidation, right? But nowadays, ceramic, make sure you don't have to wax your car for years. We're talking, it could be as a lifetime, right? With the proper care and maintenance. So it's pretty crazy, but most times, once you have oxidation, probably at least a 5-year-old car. And if you're getting it and your car's that new, sometimes we can save that, right? We can buff that off, we can coach you, it won't come back for years. But if you're like an '07, you're running out of clear coat, it's oxidizing on top of that. Even if we buff it off, you're going to see where it's just not the same anymore, right? And so what we'll usually do is just recommend, a quarterly service, like a light polish and a wax, right? I've got a machine compound that is both a light cut, uh, a finishing polish, and a glaze finish. And a lot of times you give that 30 minutes on the hood where it's most concentrated at the roof, the trunk. It's about a $200 service, and it looks great for 3 to 6 months. There's nothing wrong with it. But if you go and you put a ceramic on there for $1,000, right? And 6 months later, it's gone.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's just something I refuse to do for my customers. You know,
Okay.
there's people out there that will do that just for the big buck, and then you come to me to understand why. You
Sure. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah. So, okay, switch to interior now. How do you price an interior job as well?
uh, yeah, you know, an SUV, but we'll see. It's usually around that $300 range. That'll get you the full resurrection. Like every plastic gets touched and cleaned in between your seats, under the seats, up in the back by the back window, and your seats get moved and put down and lifted up. And we go through the whole thing. There's a whole checklist. Every door gets cleaned off. Um, we tend to go up and beyond what most people do. That's why we're usually a little bit more pricey. It's, the only things that can really add to that price is when we have to extract something that's, as something that's going to take us an extra hour, maybe two, depending on how much coverage there is, right? Or like animal hair. Everybody knows that you get like a Great Dane, a pit bull, you got that little short hair that weaves into every fiber of your car. And it's Indian. We have some tools that help with it, but it's still a pain, right? An hour or two, depending on the coverage, right? Or you can get lucky with something like a German Shepherd, fluffy hair that just settles on the top, not
Yeah.
so hard to deal with. So
Yeah.
like to charge the person with the fluffy hair, you can blow out the same price as the other. It's so we take that into consideration with every car. There's details in every car that aren't going to be the same detail for another car. So we'll usually start with a base and just see what else it needs and how much you want to get done. Some people just want to vacuum; they don't care about their same seats. Some people will turn away for that. Well, you don't want to do the seats, then don't come in here. Hey, look, you don't want to do the seats, you just want to vacuum? Come on, I got a guy. I got a guy. Bring it. So
Yeah.
it pleases me to be able to help everybody, just somebody who can blow up a big chunk of money. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. Do you clarify lenses of headlights? Is that a
Yes,
service?
we like doing that. It's one of very tedious, right? And so on headlights, you got a range of things that we do. Either way, sometimes it's just a polish, and they're good. Even crystal clear. Other times we have to wet sand, wet sand, wet sand, polish, spray some clear coat, right? Like there's a whole range it could be. A lot more time, a lot more people have that they need done than just a polish. But yeah, um, that is something we definitely specialize in. And when we're done, the goal is to get at least a year before you need to do that service again. So
Okay. That's great. That's great. How do like the products and things that you use, how do they differ from some of the store-bought products? Like, you've got, well, there's a detailing shop there on South Campbell, the detailer's garage, and they sell chemical guys, right?
yep.
Is that kind of a mid-tier products and you have better, or is that kind of better, or I'm just curious, how does that work?
Well, I believe I'm looking down on any product. Okay. For the average DIY guy that takes really good care of his stuff, and that's your best friend. They sell 90 different products that are based on a few, broken down and chemically made and mixed up to where they suit your exact needs, right?
Yep.
Their leather cleaner, their invisible cleaner, similar if not same product, just different ratios, right? So
Yeah. Yeah.
stuff like that kind of bothers me. little pricier, but they do a lot of marketing. You know what I mean? So it's they've got their pluses and their minuses. As for my business, I can't use products like that. I need something that is going to work better and more efficiently and for smaller price. You know, uh, when I first started, I thought, oh, I'll just go buy a bunch of Chem Guy stuff and we'll just go for it. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
you,
Nah.
you get more.
Yeah.
If I'm spending doing wheels, that's too long, right? I can't. Oh, Chem Guys makes it great. You know, the devil, whatever they put the dust devil or
Yes.
whatever
Yes.
product that you
It's
do
the
for your
red product.
wheels.
Yep.
You got to get this foaming sprayer for it so it foams up and suds up and helps you work. You know, like great advertising. You know, I'll make it just last week and he just got a little bit in there. And dude that hasn't walked in about 4 years and,
Yeah.
and which maybe even, you know, I need a
Yeah.
you know, that means I need a light acid because I can't spend wheels. I got about
Yeah.
5 to 10 minutes. But, you know, wheel whack. And you'll include it. You know, so,
Yeah. Yeah.
I have to use some things that are pretty, pretty strong that aren't for like the average guy. You know,
Very good. Yeah.
wheel acid is one of them. You know what I mean? Anything from mild to heavy, and we got to mix it accordingly, right? So, yes, I definitely use a more industrial based product. PNS is a really good one. You know what I mean? They sell it in 5 gallons and it's more affordable and it goes along the way, and it's simple. A monkey can do it, pour this one in this and put this one here, one pour it there. Done, so, yeah, yeah, we definitely use the E2. Something that is not really known by most people. And then we make the best situation happen.
Very good. Very good. Well, cool. So we could kind of wrap up here a little bit, but is there anything that you wanted to share that maybe we didn't cover yet that you'd like to share about your business?
Well, I just brought my brother here, so he trained up in the details this last couple months. So he's probably going to be taking over a lot more of the detail work. Thank God. And sometimes he's extra personnel really helps with it, And
Yes.
so having somebody reliable helping it is a huge blessing from the Lord. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to focus more on vehicle protection. That way, I don't
Okay.
have to keep seeing the same people every month. Maybe they make it 6 months before they even see me again.
Sure.
So I've got new high quality ceramic line that came out with Happy Go. This is the Ferrari of ceramics. It's next level. You get a warranty card like a debit card when you're down and a coffee or retro, right?
Yep.
It's and then the liquid BPF. These are the big things that I'm getting into right now. If anybody comes by, they can see my honor. We're doing exterior liners and bed liners too. So I'm all about protecting my customers for as long as they need. So
Sure.
yeah.
Very good. Very good. What's the address of the location where you do your work? You do it at your commercial site
Yeah.
up in Springfield?
Yep, it's 326 North Kansas Expressway, right there in
Okay.
Springfield. So
Okay.
we're just off the Chestnut, Kansas Expressway. I
Mm.
believe it's the east side, yeah, southeast side of the section, so their intersection. So yeah, be nice.
Very good. Very good. All right. Well, what's the phone number? How do they get hold of you by phone?
Oh yeah, you can reach me at 417
Mm.
300 0669. You'll get a hold of me
Okay.
personally. Tim Whitman with Whitman Detailing.
With Whitman Detail. Fantastic. Well, awesome. Well, it's been a great pleasure having you on, Tim, today. Thanks for sharing all the things about the detailing business that you have and about you personally. I'm sure it's built trust to those that are washing, and they'll be wanting to get your service. And I certainly will refer you when I have somebody that's in that area that you can get a hold of. Oh, I should ask you before we go. Do you do any mobile detailing, or is it all in the shop?
I don't know. We try to stick mostly to the shop versus like Phoenix, where everybody's got a driveway and pavement as far as the eye can see. Not everybody's in that same situation. And when we clean a car, we like to know that it's clean and you.
Yeah, yeah, right,
So,
right. That's right. Yeah.
you know, you know,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, sometimes you know, so
Yeah.
we like to stick to the shop.
Mhm.
And so like change in the near future. You know, I don't know. Maybe we do start doing some mobile detailing. You know what I mean? But I do have clients where they drive to their warehouse where they have multiple vehicles and they maintain things. So you know, it really just depends on the situation. You know, if somebody's in the dire needs of a mobile detail, we can really make it happen. But if it's in a certain field, you know,
Yeah.
it just
Yeah.
it's going to come to me. You know, so.
Very cool.
But
All right. Well, Tim, again, thanks for being on. It's been a pleasure, sir. And we will talk with you next time.
this was definitely different. I was pretty excited about this, so I was that curious to see what recognize you or whatnot. Seeing me, meeting you, but yeah,
Yep.
this was enjoyable. Definitely
Same
this
here.
again. So,
Okay. Let's
but
do that. Thank you again. Take care.